Hello and welcome to another battle report. This is 1575 points, and what I did was I sent a text message to a friend. What do you want to play? I want to play 1575 points, so I just throw in a list. I didn't really know what he would bring, so I just took some few toys that looks cool, and I would say a mediocre strong Lizardmen list. So I first have 2 units of Skink's Crowhost with a Slam with Wandering Deliberation, so all signature spell, a Bastillodon and a Trogodon hiding behind that hill, 20 Saurus with a Scarvet in it with the Sword of Antiheroes, 3 Croxigore, a Razordon, and outside of this picture 10 Skink Skirmisher with blowpipes. And here is the Skinks. When I say I have no idea what he would bring, I didn't think he would bring the Imperial Guard. So this is a funny story. We haven't met for like half a year, and we met at a local games workshop, and I asked him for a game and he said sure. So I say Warhammer, and he fought 40k, so he came here with a bag of Imperial Guards. So instead of just send him home straight away, I let him borrow my Empire army. So he haven't played fantasy for half a year approximately, so yeah, we will see how it goes. He have 10 huntsmen in that tower, a great cannon, 30 swordmen with a warrior priest general with additional hand weapon, a level 2 lore of beast with the pelt and the curse and a scroll, a BSB with full plate and shield. Then you have another cannon, then you have 20 swordsmen with a warrior priest additional hand weapon, and 30 Hellbearers with a level 2 lore fire with flaming sword and flame cage, and a warrior priest with additional hand weapon. Well, this is his other flank. He first deployed his huntsman in that tower, then I deployed my Chameleon Skinks there, and finally he dropped his last huntsman unit up on the flank. Empire were done with deployment before me, so he started by pushing up his state troops a bit, but that's all for his movement. He get a big magic face, and I didn't got so many dice. I throw my dice trying to stop flame cage on my Saurus, and I did dispel that, but he did get off the curse on the Saurus. He also get off the flaming sword on his halfling in the tower. With the flaming sword he managed to kill 4 of my skinks, and luckily I passes my panic tests. In his other shooting phase, one of his cannon take 3 wounds on my Troglodon, the other cannons kill 2 Saurus, and his huntman on the other flank misses all the shot on my Chameleon Skinks. So that's it for his first turn. So for Lizardman's first turn, what I did, I pushes up pretty much. My Skink Crowhost pushes up. The Slan actually changed unit, so he gets behind the tower from his 2 cannons. I pushes the rest of my army up. Saurus only walks up 4 inches because they have the curse on them, and I'm not gonna lose a third of that unit. So that's my movement. Well, down here my Chameleon Skinks run up as fast as they can, but they could not reach within 12 inches of his cannon because my plan was to put him where he put his halfling, and I couldn't, unfortunately. So they are running towards the cannon but are still without range of it. Well, in the magic phase, I have a nice little barbecue, throwing shames and fireball at the tower. And unfortunately for him, he have some halflings in there, and they got burned dead. Unfortunately for him, me barbecuing some halfling makes his general's unit run away. He failed to leadership 8 panic test, and he runs down into the water feature. On this flank, my skink unit have moved up and firing at his huntsman. Other shooting, I think my chameleon killed like one halberdier, my troglodyte killed a swordman, but nothing more than that. So over to Empire turn 2. This might seem like he have not moved much, but well, fortunately for him, his swordman did rally and he reformed them a bit, and then he pushes everything sideways to make kind of a battle line, but his swordman breaking really screw up for his battle line, and now it's kind of uneven and he have a very hard situation from now onward. In his magic phase, he got off bubble pelt. It's so good for him to have all these warrior priests and wizards. He got a lot of channeling attempts and he passes some, and he got real magic dice advantage over me. So in shooting phase, he shoots 2 cannonballs at this Trogodon. One undershot and the other did only 1 wound, so my Trogodon have only taken 4 wounds. Well, in this shooting phase between the skinks and the huntsman, he killed 2 of my skinks this turn. So for the Lizardmen turn 2, I move up here to be in short range and be able to shoot multiple darts at him every turn. But that doesn't really help, because you won't see these units anymore in this battle report, because every turn from now on until the end they will shoot at each other, and remember, they're standing 1 inch from each other and they will miss every shot they shoot. They will do nothing to each other, they will just stand there, and doesn't matter for the rest of the game. So on the other side, this is what's happened. I move up my Lizardmen a bit to his flank and to harass him a bit. Then I form my Saurus and my Croxigor in a good formation, because if he charges my Saurus, which is a pretty easy charge, I think he needed 5, he will get the Croxigor in the flank, or he can choose to charge the Croxigor, but then he would have to charge through the swamp. And then the next turn get the Lizardmen in the flank, or maybe even the Saurus if I feel like the combat there will go south. Jungle Swarms move up a bit, the Chameleon Skink and the Skink Crowhort move up to take out his cannons, and the Slan just still keeping cover, and that's it for movement. In the magic phase, I think he uses his scroll to stop, I think it's Spirit Leech on his general, and I get off Earth Blood, and I throw it through my Troglodon, so the Troglodon will get the regen and heal 1 wound. By doing so, I get a miscast, rolling a 7, so he's not in a unit, so nothing happening with that, but my magic phase basically ends there. Well, in shooting phase, my Chameleon Skink takes off all but one of his cannon, and my Skink Crow will kill the other one. And well, in this combat, as you see, I killed some of him. I think I lost a wound from the warrior priest, or if it was next turn. Well, it doesn't matter. Here he passes his steadfast test and sticks. So for Empire turn 3, it doesn't look like he have moved a lot this turn either, but well, he's Swordman with the BSB take cover behind those fence, and his halberdier failed a 9-inch charge on my Saurus, rolling double 1 and stumbled forward 1 inch. So in the medic phase, first he get off Flaming Sword. On his Swordsman in combat, I let that go because saving my dice for debuff on my Saurus. Then he throw Curse on the Troglodon, getting a miscast, rolls a 5. I kill like 6 swordsmen, and his wizard suffer a wound. Shooting phase, not much happened. His cannon trying to take out my Bastildon, but it undershot and it didn't do anything. And in combat, yeah, I stick. I think I actually win thanks to Thunderstomp, or we are equal or something like that. Anywho, we stay there and bash it up for another turn. So for the Lizardmen, turn 3. My Chameleon Skinks on top of picture will kill his cannon. One of my skink units go into the tower, the other one just line up to shoot at his swordmen, and they will kill like 3 or 4 of them. I sent for my Bastildon because I think my Troglodon will die this turn because of all the buff he have on him, and then I will hopefully reform my swarm in to protect them, or if he charges the swarm he will kill them and hopefully overrun into my Bastildon and then flank charge him with my Croxigor. I send the Saurus Warrior and the Razordon into his Halberdier to add some combat res. The Razordon are standing in the flank like that because he have a very long spit. He likes spit modeling, so you cannot really face him against the enemy, so I just turn him in, but he has in his front to them to their flank. And well, that's all my move. In the medic phase, I do manage to get off wild form on my Saurus, but that's it. Well, as you can see in this picture, we can start with the swarm versus the swordman. He killed my Troglodon. I slide in, so his swordsman cannot charge the swarm anymore. And well, in the combat with the Saurus and the Razordon, I do a crap ton of damage to him, including my Scarvet, who can only fight at his wizard. He killed his wizard, and yeah, that's it for Lizardmen turn 3. So for the Empire turn 4, the only thing not in combat, the swordsman charges the Bastildon. Well, in magic he gets off a prayer on the halberdiers here. They can reroll 2 wounds now, and in the first combat he almost, I only got 1 wound left, kills my swarms. In this combat he managed to do 2 wounds on the Bastildon, but the Skinks on top managed to kill his wizard, and the Bastildon itself managed to kill some swordsmen and do a wound to the warrior priest, but I lost big and actually broke anyway, but he didn't capture me. And in this combat, if I just kill 1 more, he wouldn't be steadfast, and he was out of DPSP range, but he managed to make that steadfast test. So anyways, yeah, he sticks around here. So for the Lizardman turn 4, I slam this Croxigor unit into his swordsman's flank. I didn't manage to rally my Bastildon, and I get off Wizard's Wild Form on the Croxigor. Well, in these 2 combat, first he kills my swarms, and then I killed his halberdiers. He failed fear test, so he was weapon skill 1. I think my general killed like 8 guys or something like that, and the Razordon was still remaining able to kill his warrior priest. when it all comes to an end. So I just reform like this, and he passes his panic check with his Swordman. In this combat I failed spectacularly. Basically one Croxigar stomps on a swordsman's feet and he's out of the game, and another one bashes the priest heads in. He did one wound to me, thankfully, because I had the wild form, otherwise I think I would have lost this combat. But anyway, he managed to reform like that, and over to Empire turn 5. Well, this is the final turn of the game, and it's Empire's turn 5. He charges in hoping to get some buffs up on my Saurus. He didn't. I still have my Slan, so I can easily dispel his Warrior Priest stuff. And I killed almost every one of these swordsmen. I think I have a couple guys remaining. He runs away. I end up 1 inch behind him, and it's my turn next. I would have killed him then. The same thing goes with the other combat. I kill his BSB, I kill some swordmen, he breaks and didn't manage to catch him, but it's my turn next. So yeah, and that's what we call the game. He have a 2 fleeing Empire state troop unit with a fleeing warrior priest in it, to all rallies on double 1 with some dinosaurs chasing them, and some archer who obviously cannot hit anything at all. And yeah, it ended up being a victory for the Lizardmen. And well, I hope you enjoyed this game. Feel free to ask any question below, and I will try to answer them as fast as I can. Like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Have a nice one.